Be making basics.
What's going on YouTube? Be Making Basics back again with another dope video. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe because we're coming back to back with bangers. Today's video, I'm gonna be showing you how to mix an R&B beat in Logic Pro 11. Okay, giving you some basic tips. So I have this R&B beat. Basically, what you want to do is bring your files in. Okay, so that's what I already did. I opened up a new session and just dragged and dropped my files in, set my BPM. Next thing I'm gonna want to do here is just turn everything down, okay, and organize everything. It's already organized how I ordered the tracks and everything, so I don't have to worry about that part. I'm just gonna turn everything down, and then two, if you haven't already, put a loop, okay, over like your hook part. So what I'll do is I'll start bringing in like the main instruments first. Then I'll bring in the drums. So I'll bring this up some. Now you can start with mixing the melody first or the drums first. A lot of people have a lot of different theories on that, but I like to go ahead and get the melody going. Pretty much what I did is I have the sample here, and then I turn the piano up just a little bit more. Usually I'll probably tuck it in there, but I want to hear that piano, and then the strings, I have that tucked under everything. Pretty much now that I got the levels for the melody, I'm gonna go ahead and start working on like the 808, the kick, and stuff like that. And the main thing is I'm shooting for clarity, basically making sure I can hear everything properly. You don't want anything too loud or anything too soft. So I feel like that's pretty good. Now, this is about some tips here. When I'm initially mixing, I don't worry about anything going in the red. Obviously, like on my actual channels, I don't want that going in the red, but on my stereo out, I don't worry about that. And the reason why is because I usually go ahead and group and bust out the drums and the melody separately to an aux track, and then I can control the levels that way. So that's just a cool little step here. But once I get the levels, from there, we're going to go ahead and do some panning, and what the panning is going to do is just basically give a more of a stereo image here. So we're going to go start with like the hi-hats. cool. So I just pan just a little bit on certain instruments. I leave the clap, the kick, snare, 808 alone. And then I'm going to leave this sample dead center and maybe play around with putting the piano left or right and the strings left or right a little bit. And so what that created is space for all of the different instruments. Okay, so you have piano coming right here to the left, to the right, and the strings to the left a little bit, and it's kind of creating some, opening it up so you can hear this sample better and hear all the other instruments. So that's basically what we're doing with this panning. Next thing I'm gonna do is something called subtractive EQ, and I usually just do that primarily on the melody. Some of the instruments I do it on it too, but basically what I'm gonna do is cut some frequencies instead of add. And that's what I would highly recommend you do as well. So we're gonna mute these and then start one by one. And we want to cut out these low frequencies just so that the low frequencies on like the 808 and the kick can come through. If you actually look at the analyzer here, you're going to see that the 808 is coming in probably around like 40 hertz to like 150 hertz. So you want to make room for that in your mix so that this is not sounding muddy because of the other instruments. So that's what we're doing here. If you look, I did it by ear, but I kind of know that like cutting out around that amount, 150 hertz, 100 hertz or whatever, somewhere around there, 300 hertz or whatever, that's gonna actually leave some room for the lower ending sounds. And then I can come over here and hold down Option and drag this over like so. It'll just make it easier for me to adjust it. And the reason why I also mute these out and solo it out basically is so that I can make sure that the sound is not too thin. Because sometimes, when you're just getting started and you're doing subtractive EQing, that's one thing you can do is not take out enough of the low end, or you're taking out too much. So you want to, kind of solo it out like this so you know that there's not too much coming out. So like this is a good example of too much. It's too much, So you want to hear the overall sound for the most part. I could go through here and EQ some of these other instruments. So I might go ahead and do just a little bit just for the sake of it. Okay, put that right there. Get this clap. And at this point, I feel like this is pretty solid. So next thing I'll do is I'll go ahead and group the instruments. So I'm going to go ahead and take all my drums and I'll go to my output. And you can group it here too, but I'm just going to actually go to the output and we're going to send all the signals right here, all of these tracks is going to go on a bus and it's going to turn into an auxiliary track over here to the right. Boom. So now I just label this drums, and now I have all my drum tracks coming through here. You feel me? And then I'll do the same. And if I miss something, I can always just put it on that bus. So I missed this symbol. Put that in there. Now I'll just go over here to my melody, and we'll go to the second available bus 2. And And now we got our melody and we got our tags too. So I collabed with another producer on this beat. So I'm just gonna put the tags over here as well. Now this cool thing about this is now I can come over here and you see how we had all this red. I can create some headroom in the mix by taking the overall volume down on these. And then we're gonna bring that volume back up in the next process where we'll basically bounce down the track, bring it back into a new session, and put a mastering plugin on it basically. Okay. Now there's other things we could do to this as well. Maybe add some reverb, or maybe add, create a little bit more punch by putting a compressor on here. We could do that. Let's just listen. So I feel like the kick could have a little bit more punch to the mix. And what I'm going to do is use a cheat code and just go ahead and use this Smack Attack plugin. Essentially, it's a compressor, but it basically compresses the transients. Okay. So I'm going to push this tack up like this, the sustain like that. Let's see how this kick sounds now. All right, and that's without. With. It's just a subtle change, but it makes a difference. So I put that Smack Attack on here. Then I just listen to some other things to see, okay, what can I do here? Does anything need reverb? And I add reverb sparingly, meaning I don't overly put effects on my beats when I mix them. You know what I'm saying? But I can, extenuate or basically make certain things stand out in the mix with reverb. Honestly, in this scenario, I really don't think there's a whole lot of reverb that I need to add on here. But what I will do is just show you a technique. What you can do is go over here to the sends and then click on that. And then basically what we're going to do is what we're doing is routing signal to each of these tracks through the send. Okay, and I can turn up however much or little I want on here, and all I had to do pretty much on this is just add a reverb. So we'll do Valhalla Room, put that pre-delay down, decay up a little bit, high cut up a little bit, depth up a little bit, and now say if I want this on this sample right here, let me turn these off first. All I have to do now is just turn the send up, and it's going to send this reverb, however much I turn up, to this track. I added a little bit of sauce to that. Now again, I don't like to put reverb on everything. Just probably just putting it on this sample is enough, because one of the mistakes I used to make when I was first learning how to mix was doing too much. I knew I needed a compressor, I knew I needed reverb, I knew I needed to get the levels, but I just didn't understand that you do things as needed. So I was putting compressor on every track, you know what I'm saying? I would put it on the 808, the kick, the snare, the clap, put it on all the melody parts. And then I learned over time, like the more you add, actually, the more complicated the mix becomes. So my mixing approach is actually less is more. And you want to work more so with the raw sounds. All right, so cool. Now that we have a general approach to this mix, I'm going to now go to other parts of the beat, make sure that the other parts of the beat sound good. We'll turn up these tags. You got it. All right, so that's cool. Let's go over here to the verse. And the cool thing too with the sends, this is why it's also good. Like I don't have to even mess with any of the knobs on this plugin. I can just send as much or little as I want to the track. I'm actually gonna turn this down just a little bit. All right, bet. So that's hard. Now what I would do is we're going to go to this end marker right here, this very end. Make sure that it's at the end of your beat, because obviously if it was right here and so say I was zoomed in, I'm not paying attention. I'm just thinking, okay, the mix is good. But if you don't take this and zoom it in or whatever and put it at the end, you're going to always end up with dead space. Another thing I like to do is just highlight everything by pushing Command A, then pushing Command T. Oops, not that, my bad. Then pushing the letter T. Go to the fade tool. And we're gonna zoom in just a little bit. And I like to take these little edges and just fade them out. So like sometimes you'll get little pops and stuff like that at the end of your audio files. And that's gonna eliminate that. So pretty much the beat is done. What I would do is recommend listening to it at different levels. Listen to it real low. Let me just do that. And sometimes when you listen to it low, you can kind of hear certain things are up too loud or too soft in the mix. Okay. So, you would listen to it on different speakers and, different things like that nature. But my ears are fairly trained. So I feel like this is a good solid mix. And so what we're going to do now is just go ahead and bounce this down, push Command B. And since I'm going to still be working with the audio file after it's bounced down, I want it to be at relatively the highest rate it could be, which is 24-bit. You can do 32-bit, but do 24 and it takes us to 48 K hertz. Okay, we'll bounce this down. Okay, and then I'll just come and bounce it in there just like this. Now this next step is a cheat code. All right, you don't have to do this. You could actually, if you want to, go through the process of mastering the beat the proper way, which is, putting all the different plugins on and going through a whole mastering step. But I found that's good to do that, but why do that when you can use a plugin that can pretty much get you right? So what I'm gonna do is open up a new session, do an audio track, and then from here, I'm gonna go ahead and find the beat. All right, bet. So now we have the beat in here. Again, same thing. Take this end marker to the end right there. And I always do this, put a little fade at the end just in case. And simply, like in Logic Pro 11, they have this mastering plugin, AI mastering plugin built, pre-built into the stereo out. So I'm just going to click on that. And AI is going to actually analyze the transients, the frequencies, and basically boost the level of the beat to a pretty good level. studio quality, industry quality. So let's listen to it now without and with. So that's without, this is with. And obviously you can come in here and make any changes if you want to. So I might take this up to like 14 here. The main thing is just making sure it's at the level it should be, broadcast standard. And that's what this mastering plugin is going to do. So this is just a simple way to do that. Then I'm going to go ahead and push Command B to bounce this down again, but this time I'm going to do it as a 16-bit. And this is basically what you would do, like CD quality, 16-bit, 44.1 thousand hertz. Come over here to MP3, and I just do it at the highest on the MP3, which is 320. So we'll do that. Name the beat, and I always go ahead and just put a dash and put the BPM at least. You know what I'm saying? You can put other stuff on the beat if you want, like the key and all that fun stuff, but I'm just gonna put the BPM, and I just push the go button or bounce down button, and then we're pretty much good. Make sure that you head over to my website though, beatmakingbasics.com. If you want a even more thorough understanding of how to mix your beats, how to make beats, how to arrange beats, different things like that, especially if you're a beginner, my site, beatmakingbasics.com, is the best resource for that, okay? We have something called a Beatmaking Master Bundle. Right now, I have a real crazy deal going on in it. We're talking about getting thousands of dollars worth of courses, sound kits, templates for only a fraction of that cost. So check it out. Click the first link in the bio or in the description, and then you'll check out the offer. And I'm telling you, it's gonna help you out, especially if you're a beginner. But pretty much we're done here. I'm gonna go ahead and open up that window here, go to the desktop, and just check out this beat.
You got it.
And yeah, there you have it, man. The beat is available for streaming as well. If you go to my website, ukaibeats.com, and click on Beat Store, you can search for Smooth on my Beat Store and listen to the final product there. But appreciate y'all watching. I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Also, guys, again, head over to my website, beatmakingbasics.com, if you need further instruction on how to make beats, mix beats, arrange beats, make your own loops and a whole bunch of other stuff. You know what I'm saying? I got all of that in my master bundle. Got to go ahead and grab that, y'all. It's going to help you, save you a lot of time struggling to find out things on your own, etc., etc. So, but anyway, stay tuned for the next video, man. We're going to be dropping more consistently on the channel. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you in the next one.